What is up guys, Dark back again here with another X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Today's going to be against my buddy Duddi, aka Victor, as you will see on the opposite side of the field, with that OU.OU team. This battle was just literally nothing but OU. It's nice to see, but yeah, it seems going to be really annoying for me, to be honest. That Thunderous is going to be a huge threat since I'm running a Zard-Y, and having that in the back just really puts a stop to what my Charizard-Y can really do. And he's also got the weather with the T-Tar, the Keldeo that can check it. It's just a really annoying team and it's going to be quite hard to break down, but let's get straight into this to see how it did go. Now for me, I am going to be leading with my Clefable since it does have a good matchup versus the majority of his team. And I can get up rocks very early on if he does lead with something to give me an advantage, which will help me pressure his Thunderous. But he actually leads with his Tyranitar, and here I felt that my best play was going into Keldeo, since if he did want to go for the Stone Edge to get off damage, Keldeo would be able to eat it up, and if he did want to switch out to his Ferrothorn, I could stop him from getting up rocks for free with my Keldeo, since him getting up rocks is kind of bad for me considering I am running a Charizard. I also did want to keep my Clefable at 4 HP since it's all I really have for a Thunderous switch-in, since if he does have Focus Blast then T-Tar's not really a switch-in, but here, Duddi's actually going to switch out into his Thunderous, making the aggressive play predicting the Secret Sword, but it did work out for him since I did go for it. And it does a a decent amount of damage, not too much. I'm not Specs, I'm actually Leftovers Calm Mind Keldeo, so it won't be doing all that much, but it's definitely nice to get off some damage on this Thunderous, to start getting it into range of my Tyranitar's Pursuit, because it seems like that's what's going to come down to taking it out. Because I'm going to get that Leftovers Recovery, and here Duddi's going to try and make a play. he's going to switch out, double switch into his Tyranitar, I think. No, he double switches into his Keldeo, apologies, predicting my Tyranitar to come in. But I didn't really want to go out to it just in case he did have the Focus Blast and wanted to go for it. So I am just going to make the safe play into my Clefable. I did feel that was my better play since I can take up any 2 hits, and I can get up my rocks or go for the Moonblast to get off damage. As I don't really have much of a switch in for this Hydro. I don't want to go out to my Latios because it will just get Pursuit trapped by his own T-Tar, so I'm just going to stay and go for the Moonblast for damage here. So it's kind of a misplay because now I don't have too much for his Thunderous if he does pack Focus Blast. But considering he did double out to Keldeo, I'm not expecting him to have it, since if he was predicting my Tyranitar he would have just gone straight for the Focus Blast. But yeah, the second Hydro is going to be able to knock me out, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me, he couldn't miss, and I'm going to lose my Clefable, so I don't get up rocks, but I'm honestly fine with that. It just kind of sucks a bit. And my best answer to this at the moment is hopefully winning the speed tie with my own Keldeo so he doesn't get a Specs Hydro off. But he actually ends up winning and hitting his 3rd Hydro in a row, so the luck is not going my way this battle. He's able to get off a hell of a lot of damage with that. I did way too much. It's a nice and resisted hit. But yeah, I am able to finish him off with the Secret Sword, so thread out the way. Which I'm absolutely fine with getting rid of that, absolutely fine with that exchange. But he can now just send out his Thunderous, and I am just going to let my Keldeo go down to... Oh no, I'm not going to let my Keldeo go down. Not yet. I actually switched straight into my Latios. I was half expecting the Focus Blast, since if he had it, he had no reason not to go for it, since it both killed my Keldeo, and if I did want to switch out to T-Tar, it did catch that as well. He actually ends up going for the Grass Knot. Interesting to see Grass Knot on a Thunderous, so I never see that at all. But I just felt that Latios was my better play there, as now I can just fire off a Draco on something, as he makes the obvious switch into his T-Tar. Didn't really expect him too much to go out into this, but I am absolutely fine in weakening this thing down for my Charizard to come through late game. And if he is Scarf, then I do believe that Draco plus EQ can take him out, if he wanted to go for Crunch anyway. But that Draco kind of tells me that he's not Scarf, because it didn't do too much. Normally, if it's a Scarf set, they would do like 60%, but I'm rambling. But I can just fire off the EQ this turn, and it will be able to bring him down into the red, which is going to be great for my Charizard to come through later game, since I can just revenge his T-Tar with pretty much anything left on my team, as it will stop him from getting up Weather, which will be really annoying, since modest Fire Blasts in the sun are definitely nice to have. But I can just go straight up to my Keldeo here to revenge this Tyranitar, and I'm not too sure if I agree with him staying in here. I mean, I do have my own T-Tar in the back to set up the sand for him, but I wasn't too sure about that play, just letting his T-Tar die, because he does have the Axedrill still in the back, and with the sand up that is extremely threatening to the last pokes that I do have. So maybe he could have preserved that, but I don't really think he had too much of a switch anyway, so he would have just ended up sacking something. But he is going to go out to his Thunderous here, and I am just going to let my Keldeo go down to the Grass Knot here. And the reason I've done this is because it gives me the free switch into my Tyranitar, and this does kind of cause a bit of a 50-50 whether I'm going to Pursuit or Stone Edge, since Pursuit, well, if he stays in and I go for Pursuit and he goes for something like Grass Knot, he will be able to 2-hit KO me. And I don't think he Pursuit even 2-hit KOs from that sort of range. But yeah, so it's kind of a 50-50 here whether I would Pursuit, Crunch or Stone Edge, but I do end up going for the Pursuit and I'll catch him on the switch, which is really nice for me, as I'm able to bring him down into the red. It kind of sucks that it didn't take him out, since it would have been really nice not to have that around for my Charizard to just plow through the rest of the team that he had. But it's fine, I can just bring in my T-Tar against it later, since I am fairly sure that he doesn't have the Focus Blast, looking at the way he has been playing it. And Grass Knot will definitely not be able to OHKO me. But I'm going to make the switch into my Excadrill here. This is purely because I didn't want my Charizard to take a Thunder Wave on the switch, which I was expecting him to do. And I'm going to use it as a pivot into my Charizard. Kind of obvious, I was kind of expecting him to go for the double T-Wave to be honest, and I was really scared of making this play. But I generally felt that going for Rocks was his better play, since he didn't really lose too much from it. But now, because of this, I will be able to Mega Evolve, go straight for that Fire Blast, modest Fire Blast in the sun. It's going to do a clean 400% to his Ferrothorn, if not more. And it's just going to get completely annihilated. There comes the Drought. Nice and power in the sun. Fire Blast, you're dead. And all I really need to do from here to win is make sure that I do not choke and hit all my Fire Blasts. So I'm not known as quite a lucky person, so I'm kind of scared right now. Whilst I was battling, I was fairly sure that I was going to be missing one. But he is going to send out his Thunderous here, and because I know that Grass Knot is not a one-hit KO, I'm fairly sure he doesn't have Focus Blast. I'm going to predict him to go for the T-Bolt here, and I'm going to switch straight into my Tyranitar, since it can take any one hit, and revenge him with a Pursuit next turn if he didn't want to double. If he did want to double also, that would be absolutely fine with me. But he does just end up going for the T-Bolt, and he doesn't actually know I'm Scarfed yet, which is another reason why I did make this play, as he can just fire off another T-Bolt after this, but I will be able to get rid of his Thunderous this turn. Or not T-Bolt, Grass Knot. I'm not sure if they do the same, but I'm not sure if Grass Knot kills from here with Scarftar, but I can just kill him with a Scarfed Pursuit, and that will be able to take him out, meaning that my Charizard is pretty much free to just do whatever it wants. All I need to make sure is to not choke, so this is one instance. I'm not going to just sack off my T-Tar to this, because I don't want it setting up in my face and sweeping the last 3 or 4 that I have left. So I'm going to make the aggressive switch straight into my Excadrill. I don't really lose too much, since I can with a Flamethrower, and if he does want to go for the Flamethrower, I can just go for the Iron Head the next turn, switch to my Zard and revenge it from there. But he does just go for the Calm Mind, and I can just go for the Iron Head here. Hopefully I get a flinch. I was kind of hoping for a flinch, because I didn't know if he had Flamethrower or not. But I don't get the flinch, but he actually goes for Moonblast, so maybe he doesn't have, well, I'm guessing he doesn't have Flamethrower, he would have gone for it, so kind of strange to see a Calm Mind Clefable without having the Flamethrower on there, but I'm guessing he has stored power over it. I have seen that run in various teams, but I can just go for the second Iron Head, which is good for me. Get this threat out of the way, and this thing is not going to be sweeping my team, which is very nice. As the Sandstorm is going to subside, absolutely fine, I do not need the sand anymore. And it kind of comes down to whether his Excadrill is Jolly or not, because Jolly Excadrill naturally outspeeds Modest Starred Y, and it actually confirmed here that he's not Jolly, since my Excadrill was Adamant and I did win the speed tie, showing that his Excadrill is Adamant, which means all I need to do left in this battle is hit my Fire Blast. My Zard needs to come through and hit. This Charizard has been good for me lately, like, I'm not a lucky person, it's been hitting all of its moves, it's nice to see. Nice to see Zard coming through on the team. But all I need to do is hit this Fire Blast and I do win, since this is his last, and I do. So that is going to be the game, an amazing battle, I did really enjoy that one. And yeah, GG Duddi, well played man, and that is going to be the game. The victory, the 1-0 in my favour against Victor. So if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you next time guys, peace.